get back out there yesterday?
I felt good, felt real good. Again, just to get back out there, run routes, catch balls. Again, that's my passion. So whenever I'm on the grass, it's always great to be out there.
Are you gearing up toward playing Sunday?
Oh yeah, that's the plan. So everything is trending in the right direction. So just continue to see how this week goes.
You haven't missed many games of your Bears career. How tough was it missing nearly a month?
Yeah, man, it's tough. Again, dealing with ankle injury a little bit earlier in the season, and then a hamstring. Two injuries for a receiver that you could and want to stay away from if you can. So having to deal with those. Again, unfortunately, it's a part of the game. Again, I was able to put together 2 fully healthy seasons and play every game for 2 straight years. So running into that, it's unfortunate, but being able to just kind of push through it and bounce back.
You know right away when it happened, and did it happen
Yeah.
when you were running the route or after you caught it? Or?
No, it happened when I got pushed out of bounds. Kind of as I was going to the ground, just kind of like overextended, and that's when it happened. And I kind of knew it right away.
How frustrating was that, given that that play itself was
Yeah.
kind of what you were looking for?
Yeah, definitely was frustrating. Being able to, not only finish a game like that, but not being able to continue to capitalize off that. Like you said before, plays like that is plays for myself and for this team that we've been looking for, all year, to be able to get some plays like that, especially in meaningful times and meaningful moments when we need it.
How have you kind of navigated this season for you? Obviously, it's not been exactly what you expected, but with injury and then obviously long losing streaks, what has it just been like this season?
Yeah, seasons like this are tough. They're extremely tough. But again, being able to try to compartmentalize all of it and put certain things to the side and trying to focus on the main things, which are continuing to improve. Figuring out how to get better. Figuring out how to possibly change the result that's happening and figuring out how to continue to put yourself in a position to ultimately do what you want to do, and that's win the game. So it's tough when you have seasons like this. But again, the season's not over, so we got to just continue to push forward and continue to challenge each other to get better and to improve on the things that we've done this far.
In light of that, what would it mean to be at Sunday Night Football and pull an upset that no one's really expecting at this point?
Yeah, again, that's why you play the game. Not as far as for an upset, but to have these games like this. Again, at the end of the day, going into every week, for the most part, once that ball is kicked off, the records don't matter. The only thing that matters is who comes to play that day and who has the best performance that day. So for us, that's what we're aiming for. Trying to continue to put together a good week of practice and then going out there and executing on Sunday.
What do you appreciate most about Darnell Mooney, and specifically watching him from the sideline while you were out? What did you see from him?
Yeah, continuing to continuing to improve his craft and continuing to be on the details and being able to maximize the opportunities and stuff like that he's having, that he's being given. So again, as a person who goes out there to work each and every day and wants to continue to challenge himself.
Given some of the ups and downs this season, what kind of goals do you have for these last 5 games? And then what would it mean to kind of finish with some of the production that we've seen of you, your typical seasons for you?
Yeah, honestly, just going out there and just maximizing and capitalizing on all the opportunity that's given to me. That's really all I can set out for. Again, and then on top of that, from a team aspect, for us trying to finish strong and win these last games and see what happens. I think that's the main thing. But other than that, that's my main focus is whatever the ops that I'm given are, just capitalize and try to make the best of those.
What element of this offense do you think changed the most that affected your production? Did something change in the offense itself? Was it new quarterbacks, changing quarterbacks, Mooney? What do you think has been the biggest factor?
Honestly, I'm not going to really get into that too much right now. I think that, for us, we've been trying to find our identity now throughout the course of the season and trying to figure out, what works and trying to figure out how we can create explosives and different things like that. So, again, it's been a number of just variables in general. But, right now in the situation that we're in right now, it's just about focusing and moving forward and figuring out, again, how to continue to put the best product on the field and continue to maximize all the opportunities that's given.
Isn't it hard to find consistency, though, when you have, different quarterbacks and the different receivers because of injuries, but they're also different quarterback or receivers that are being targeted. All of those moving parts is that, it's hard to find an identity and consistency, right?
Yeah. I mean, well, going into the season, again, I mean, we've had a lot of change, unfortunately, whether that's, with the quarterbacks, play calling wise, scheme wise a little bit, trying to figure out and find some of the things that we're doing well, So again, it's just been us trying to figure out, how can we find what we do well and trying to, stay consistent with that and also improve upon that, So again, I mean, we've kind of, I guess made some strides in certain areas, but we just haven't been able to put it all together. So so right now that's what we're continuing to try to do is being able to put it all together, and then build off of that and be consistent with those things.
We hear so much from your teammates and coaches about Justin's, how he's not fazed by the moment. Obviously, it's a big moment on Sunday night for him. What have you observed from him in that realm that tells you he'll be all right, that he can handle kind of that spotlight?
Yeah, I mean, he's played in a ton of big games, I think in his college career and also even now in the NFL. Again, I don't think that, I mean, we've played in some big games this year, some Sunday night games, some Monday night, a Monday night game, and also, a night game to kick the season off and stuff like that. So again, I mean, it won't be it's not his first night game, in the league, and it's not his last, So I think for him, how he approaches things and stuff like that, is the right way to do it, So I think that for him, again, he has experience with the bright lights.
Does anything stand out to you about playing at Lambeau Field? Do you like playing there?
Yeah. It's always a great environment and atmosphere. I will say that it looks a little bit more fun playing there in September, but the atmosphere is always great. The fans come. It's exciting. They're loud. It's kind of when you're growing up and you see games at Lambeau, and you watch these games in the Chicago Bears versus Packers, or for me growing up living in Detroit, seeing Green Bay versus Minnesota and Randy Moss and all those guys and Charles Woodson, it's the same atmosphere that you kind of would envision, from being a kid to now.
You talked about, trying to compartmentalize things, but is it tough to not get frustrated, not to get down when things are obviously not going the way you want, and then even add injury to that?
Yeah, I don't think it's so much so as far as getting down. I think the frustration comes with being content in any way, or not being content, I should say, with kind of the circumstances that are being given and kind of what's going on. I think that's where the frustration lies. It's hard to be accepting of, how things are going, for us not producing how we want to or how we're used to and things like that, So that's where the frustration stems from.
According to some recent next-gen stats analysis, says you run more hitch routes than basically anyone in the NFL. Do you have an instant reaction to hearing that? I guess I run more hitches than anybody in the league. I don't, for myself, I can't, just track all the receivers, myself and kind of what they're doing. But, I guess that's the stat. I guess the better question is, does that surprise you at all?
No, it doesn't. But, again, like I said before, for me, it's just about, maximizing all the things and opportunities that I have, So if that's 1,000 hitches, I want to catch 1,000. You feel me? Like that's just how I am as a player. Like I said before, even early in the year, being able to try to get some catch and run things off some of those plays if I can, those are the things that I want to do to whereas if that is what I'm running, I want to take that to the next level.